Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the brief networking before we start. It's crazy now how we need to adopt a new platform every day of like socially and like social networking all online. Uh, for those who doesn't know me, I am Imran Habal, and I am the COO at Birmingham Enterprise Community and Director of Forward Accelerator alongside Dan, who the CEO and who's going to be talking with you shortly now. Today is a really exciting day because we've been waiting for this demo day for a long time. And we can't wait to show you the amazing startups that we have in store. And I'm really excited because a lot of you guys attended the launch event of Forward Accelerator, first day. So now this is going to show you what we've been working on since we started. It was a really interesting journey. We enjoyed it. We've been learning from every startup and entrepreneur we've been working with as much as they learned from us. Today's startups are sector agnostic, so it's going to be a mix that you can enjoy. Please feel free to engage through social media, take photos, screenshots, share it online, and use the hashtag ForwardF2 because this is F2 cohort, the second cohort. I'm not going to take long. I'm going to leave it to Dan now to tell you about what I've been working on and what we have planned for 2021 and even the future. So, yours.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Amran. I'm just going to get my screen shared quickly. Can you just confirm, Amran, that's up on screen? Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody that's here today. As Amran said, there's a lot of supporters who have been with us for quite a long time. A lot of new faces. A lot of people I just chatted to in the networking session that have never engaged with us before. So that's really exciting to see. And you know, we're just delighted to be here today. Sadly, we can't be physically together. Which we would have really liked to have done for this demo day, but it has obviously brought us opportunities where we have people in multiple countries in attendance today, which we wouldn't have been able to do if we just held it as a purely physical event. So that's awesome. So as Amran said, I'm going to take you a little bit through some of the things we've been up to and some of the things that we have to come, really to give you a sense of where we are at as a community. As Amran said, my name's Daniel Evans. I'm Chief Executive here at Birmingham Enterprise Community. So I'd like to start with a couple of thank yous before we get going. The first thank you has to be to my partners. Amran, who you've just heard from, who is there with me day after day, week after week, helping to make this whole thing happen. Secondly, Alex, who keeps me awake at night by calling me at 11 o'clock on Saturday nights to give me updates. But together with myself and Amran, really since kind of day one, we've been pushing this whole thing forward. And then finally, a special mention as well to Bart Dalton, who is the newest member of the BEC team. Bart came on board with us back in April this year. We are three young guys, me, Alex, and Amran, and we know that in order to really take things forward again, we needed, a pot of experience to draw on, which Bart offers in bucket loads. So to have him on board, his partner, Michelle Dalton, and the whole Rock Fine family here supporting us, supporting the community is fantastic. And I think a lot of the entrepreneurs in the community have really taken Bart into the hearts, and, he's a fantastic addition to the team. And just in this short amount of time he's been with us, has really helped us to take things forward, to begin to grow, and make things look bright for the next couple of years. Another huge thank you has to go to all the mentors across all of our programs. These people mentioned here give their time, give their energy, give their wealth of experience in order to really help us take these entrepreneurs forward. Every single one of them, I think, is not just a valuable support for the startups and the entrepreneurs, but for ourselves as well. You know, the amount of times we'll sit, we'll speak with them, and almost be mentored by them ourselves really helps us to understand, you know, how we can keep moving things forward. So without these guys, you know, none of this support would be possible. At the same time, there's a few of our what we would call friends, partners on the call who also help us to make things happen. They work with us, they engage with us, and they support us all the way. And then a final shout out in terms of thank yous also to AlphaWorks, which is pictured in this lovely picture, who continue to be one of our you know, most important partners, giving us a home. Unfortunately, you know, this year we've not been able to be there as much as we'd like to be. We had a short window where we were kind of back in there and doing stuff again. But I know that next year and the year after, and as we try to get towards a normality, whatever that looks like, you know, we'll be back there. We'll be back doing events like this there and bringing everybody together at that space. I want to talk about numbers. I want to talk a little bit about what we've been up to before we kind of move on to the next part. So those of you who, as Omran said, were back with us at the launch of Forward Accelerator back in the summer of 2019, we held an event at the new Santander branch of Corporation Street in Birmingham. And we really looked to build this accelerator program out as our first proper step forward as an organization and our first bit of support into the community. We are here today to celebrate the end of our second cohort of Forward, which seems absolutely crazy because it feels like we only just began the first cohort, and now we're kind of 2 cohorts in and getting ready to take on our third. Over that first cohort and this second one, so just over a year, we've, through different events, both within that accelerator and the external outreach, have engaged with in excess of 2,000 individuals. We've provided over 1,600 hours of support. And I think one key thing to mention, this is the workshops, the mentoring, the coaching that we deliver. What this doesn't count in these hours is when we, you know, maybe go and get some food together, either at AlphaWorks or elsewhere, or go for drinks afterwards, or spend an hour on the phone chatting with the startup. Those interactions, although they seem kind of outside of what we do, what they're really key for is fostering those deep, meaningful bonds between founders, between the network, between the community, that have an intangible value in terms of what they're able to deliver to us. And then finally, we've had 21 startups that have come through the doors of Forward. We had 13 on the first cohort. This second cohort, you're about to hear from the 8 startups that make up this second cohort. We picked up some awards along the way. So over the past 12 months, we've been really fortunate to be nominated for several awards, to win several awards. We were also named in Sunday Times Best Places for Business 2020. And the reason why I wanted to include this is not for kind of self-indulgence, but for me, this is testament to the efforts of everybody that's involved with this organization, both me and the rest of the team, the startups, the mentors, the partners, the friends. We know that we live and die by the success of our founders and the success of our startups. And this is real validation for the progress that they're making. And as you'll see, this is a sample of some of the startups tonight that we've worked with. You know, there's many other awesome founders at an early stage, at a late stage, that are involved in this community that are just making some awesome things happen. So again, a huge thank you to everybody that's been involved to help us to receive this validation. So I want to speak a little bit about kind of reflecting back over the next year, reflecting forward before I go into kind of what we're going to do. And I've used this picture purposefully because those of you who are either pictured, I can see a couple of the back of the people's heads that are actually on this call, but for the people that are here and involved with us at this time, you know, this was the launch that we did for Birmingham Enterprise Community as an organization in January 2019, where we set out a manifesto of kind of 4 points that we wanted to do in terms of what we were about and what it was. To quickly run through those, I'm not going to go into depth, but it was about having a space of our own where these emerging entrepreneurs could come together, could share ideas, could collaborate, and could feel empowered to be a part of this thing. That is something that we've achieved. since that launch. These were things we said, okay, this is what we want to do, and we're going to spend some time to actually make this happen. That has been achieved. As I said, we get people together, we give them a home within AlphaWorks, and even now in this really turbulent time, we're still trying to provide a space where these people can come together. Enterprise education was another big one, and really making sure that we're teaching people enterprise and entrepreneurial skills that are fit not just for now but for the future. Of course, we do this through our programs, and we'll continue to do so. But also, we have ran workshops for about 7 different universities in the region. We launched, which I'll go into a little later, a program called Skills for Tomorrow, which provides entrepreneurial training for young people 18 to 30 who have had their careers disrupted by COVID-19. For us, we know that in order to tackle the challenges of the future, we need people who are entrepreneurial, people who are able to solve problems, people who are able to spot opportunities, to utilize resources, to communicate, to lead. That is how we're going to kick forward. That is how we're going to grow post-COVID. So we're delighted that we're able to really push forward on that agenda. The third one was collaboration, not competition, a phrase that we absolutely love. In fact, the launch of Forward was actually titled Collaboration, Not Competition. As I mentioned right at the start, this is not the efforts of 3 or 4 people. This is the efforts of an army of entrepreneurs, of mentors, of friends, of coaches. It is that whole community effort. And we proudly, as I said, work with people at AlphaWorks, whether it's Birmingham Tech, whether it's one of the universities in the region, national organisations such as Enterprise Nation, NACU, just to name a few. This is something that is close to our hearts. We know that by working together, we make things happen. And the fourth is about then celebrating successes. And I think this is a testament to it, but also we shout loudly about, what our entrepreneurs are doing, the fantastic things they're able to achieve, and we'll continue to do that moving forward. However, kind of going forward, I think there was 3 points that we want to build on in terms of the next part. We're doing those things and we'll continue to do those things, but the next 3 things is really about making sure that entrepreneurship is for everyone. This is something that's fundamentally important to us, to look at addressing barriers to entrepreneurship and accessibility to entrepreneurship, and doing as much as we can there. And I'm going to mention a bit more about that in a second. The second one is really giving people the belief that everything is possible. This doesn't mean that you can necessarily do everything and you're not going to fail, or that you should do things, but really putting no limits on the minds of the entrepreneurs that we work with. Fundamental. If we try and shut people down before they've even begun, we're failing the whole community. So for us, that is essential. The final one then is a commitment to this lifelong learning and understanding that even once we've gone into the entrepreneurial journey, we've started up, we don't know everything. Our mentors would probably proudly say that they don't know everything. It's a process of continuous development, and that is at the core of an entrepreneur and a core of entrepreneurship. And then the final one that I want to re-emphasize out of the originals is that collaboration, not competition. If I take a Midlands focus, although, as you'll see tonight, we've definitely kind of gone beyond that. And I'm quite proud to say that we are now a global community of entrepreneurs. For us, we still see silos in terms of people not working together as they should. But we know that actually by working together, we make things happen and we do things. So that's extremely important for us. Moving forward, what are we going to be doing? Inclusivity is a big one. As I mentioned there, making sure entrepreneurship is for everyone, saying that it doesn't matter what background you're from or what journey you've had through life, you should be able to access and explore entrepreneurship. We're quite proud to say that we've started to make some steps on this. Some of you will know that this year we launched a female founder scholarship where we provided 10 spaces over the last 4 months to female founders to really help them get their businesses going. We ran a coaching competition where we gave away 20 hours of support to female founders for one-to-one coaching. And I'm really delighted to say that on our next Forward Accelerator, we'll be offering a fully funded space to a female-led scale-up that's a space worth £5,000. There's a lot more we need to do. I think one thing that we really wanted to address today in terms of what's coming up, the startups you're about to see, we have 8 startups there. Out of those 8 startups, we have 2 that have female co-founders, and the rest are male-run organizations. For us, that is not good enough. We know we have a big part to play in this, and there is a lot of things that we want to do to keep striving forward, to play our part, to work with other people, and to hold people to account as well, making sure that all the people and organizations that we work with also believe in this and want to help us take this forward. So it's certainly not a done yet. You know, we've got a long way to go to get this right. Well-being is a really essential one, I think, because we've seen this year in terms of the impacts that everything that's going on has had on people's mental health. We want to ensure that we are there for our founders, not just in terms of making sure the cash flow finances make sense or that they're able to find investment, but making sure that as individuals, they are taking care of themselves, they're taking care of the people around them. We experimented with this in a very light way this year. We had a Strava community for the people on our programs. We were about to arrange our first kind of fitness activity together. We were going to get a group of our entrepreneurs together to have a game of football, which was sadly delayed by COVID. But definitely watch out, because this year and into next year, there'll be some more things we do on this to really look at physical well-being and mental well-being in entrepreneurs as well. Again, under the collaboration aspect, we will continue to be in the community, doing work, working closely with our founders to ensure that everything that we do, the direction we take is purpose fit for exactly what they want to achieve. In terms of focuses, so we plan to remain sector agnostic as we currently are, but we've almost developed a set of themes in terms of what we're looking to wrap some support around. These are just examples of some of the industries that could fit in these categories, but we believe that actually you could almost intersect these 3 areas in terms of the way that we live our lives, the way that we transform the world, and the way that we manage, importantly, the blending between physical and digital worlds. Hopefully kind of into early next year with a few other projects we've got going on, we'll be able to really explore this more and show you what it's all about. Quite a few of you know that we through this year have been looking to raise a fund. It's something that's very much still on our agenda that we want to make happen. So again, watch your space on this. These things take a while. COVID obviously causes disruptions, but this is really important for us. As you all know, a lot of the barriers that we face at a regional level, but also a global issue in terms of entrepreneurship, is accessing that really early funding. If we can really help to unlock this, help more of these startups to kick on, to scale up and to grow, the impacts that they can generate is then huge. In terms of the 4 main initiatives that lie at the core of what we do, these will be one new offering in terms of our 1883 Club. We are working closely with members of our community to figure out exactly what this is about, but this will be really about helping people to take their very first footsteps into entrepreneurship and to build those early connections, to feel kind of safe and comfortable of exploring this. The other 3 things then are our programs that we currently run. So our Startup Sprint program, which has been extremely successful this year in helping early stage founders that are about to launch or recently launch really get off in the right way. Our Proving Ground Incubator, which is really focused around that development phase and growing on early traction. And finally, our Forward Accelerator, which is our 6-month global entrepreneurship program to help high growth businesses scale ups. And what you'll see with the next cohort of Forward is because we have these earlier initiatives now, we're able to push that further along and focus a lot more on that kind of scale up space. So theoretically, we could go from idea and concept all the way through to scale up and have an end-to-end support that we're able to offer the founders and startups within our community. And my final message, because I've ran over by a couple of minutes, is this. It is that for anybody that's on this call who is thinking about starting a business, who maybe has recently started a business and is not part of our community, I would urge you to get involved. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. There's a lot of issues we need to fix. There's a lot of ways we can improve people's lives. And none of that will get solved unless we take action as entrepreneurs. We are a community of people that are dreamers, but not daydreamers. We don't sit about and think about how things could change. We take action to make that change. So I would urge you to get in touch with us after this. Hello at birminghaменterprisecommunity.co.uk. Reach out to one of us on social media, have a conversation, and let's really get out there and start making things happen. That's all from me. Thank you for attending today. Good luck to all of the startups pitching today, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. That's crazy. What a long journey. It was like, it has its ups and downs, but we enjoyed every bit of it, and we're looking forward for the coming as well. Now, guys, we're going to switch to the next session. You don't have to do anything. It's just going to take 15 seconds so we can switch where the startup founders can do their pitches. Okay, so we're going to start with John Swell. John is the founder of Azel. Azel is a platform changing the way that we buy and sell art online, where buyers can pay directly to the artist without the excessive commission, and making art more accessible and affordable for everyone. John, it's yours.
Thank you very much, Cameron. Before I start, I just want to say my congrats to you guys and everything you've done. I went to the opening way back a couple of years ago, and it's great to see how things are progressing. So congrats on everything you're doing. Let's see if I can share my screen. Give me a second.
I'm going to get your timer ready as well. So.
Yeah, brilliant. Can you see that screen now? Is that, can everyone? I don't know. Can you speak on answer? Because I can only see my side. Yeah. No.
No, we can't. No.
Hang on one sec. It says on mine it is sharing. So hang on.
It did. No.
Let's try again. I did it, and then it's gone. Okay, let's try again.
Those technical problems became part of each of the problems.
How about now?
Yeah, go ahead. All good.
Brilliant. Okay, I'll just restart my timer. So yeah, as Omran says, my name's John, and I'm the founder of Easel, an online marketplace making art easy, accessible, and affordable. Now, obviously, those aren't particularly words that people will associate with art or the art world, and I'm going to start off by explaining why, and then go into a little bit about how Easel is changing that. So here at the top, we have an artist and 3 types of potential buyers. Particularly early career artists will generally start off by selling their work online. Buyers will then pay for this work through a platform, and they'll think they're generally getting a fair price, but what they often don't know is that the artist is only receiving about 2/3 typically of what they pay. When the artist has to factor in the time, the materials, the shipping, and most importantly, I think the creative talent that it takes to make artworks, they're not really getting a fair price for their work, and it's ultimately not very sustainable for them. Some artists might make it past this stage. They might get representation by a gallery, a traditional bricks and mortar gallery. And at this point, they might be confident enough to say to the gallery, look, I want to get 100% of the value of my time and materials and creativity and all that. But the gallery's still got to stick their 50% commission, which is the industry standard for bricks and mortar galleries, on top of that. And the problem this time around is that the buyer is then paying way over the odds for the artwork. And this has a massive effect also on the third kind of buyer. Now, this is the kind of buyer who probably doesn't have a huge amount to spend. They know that art's going to be expensive, but there's also a number of other barriers for them as well. they're probably never going to set foot in a commercial gallery, and they're even less likely to go and buy art through an online portal, with only 20% of people still feeling more confident to use online portals than commercial galleries even now. So what ends up happening is, because they don't feel that art is somewhere where they can access, and they know that it's expensive, they end up going to IKEA. And it's not the end of the world in some ways. It's nice people are able to decorate their homes, but I know from experience that a lot of these people would like the chance to support emerging artists if they had somewhere they could do it and that they knew and felt comfortable in doing so. And the biggest problem here is obviously that the artist misses out on that entire market completely. So a huge number of an artist's potential clients won't ever come to them because they don't know how to even meet them. Those buyers that do pay often pay over the odds, or if they pay a fair price, the artist will ultimately not receive a fair price for their work. So we end up with a market that is not transparent, not sustainable, and most artists will end up feeling that they can't carry on any longer. And this isn't just me saying this, is backed up by statistics. We've seen a drop in the number of artists in the UK in the last couple of years. This is partly because of the commission fee model not working for so many and it not becoming financially viable for them. And it's also in part because of the way that the art schools operate. It says a lot that only 1 in 5 fine art graduates are able to establish themselves as a self-employed artist within a few months of leaving art school. And I know anecdotally that then it's even harder to go on once you're working in another job to make it as an artist. Art schools aren't prepping students for the business side of things, and art is a business at the end of the day. So this is a massive problem, and it means that so many artists are not making it in their chosen career because of the current system. So Easel's changing that. We're operating as a sort of straightforward marketplace. Our artists pay just £4.99 a month for them to upload and sell as much work as they like. And this enables our buyers to pay directly and securely through the platform, which makes them a lot happier. They feel more comfortable. They know they're supporting someone, and the artists are able to plan their spending on this, and they feel comfortable at that price range as well. So we set out to sell art. Thankfully, we've been able to do that. We've sold over £3,000 worth of artwork so far. We have 900 artworks listed with 65 plus artists, some of whom you can see there. And an average sale price of around about £40, so it really is affordable. Going forward, we've listened to our artists, and we particularly want to address those issues of offering support. So as well as giving the basic membership, we're also looking to give added exclusive support to different levels of to different artists depending on their needs. And we both at the $49.99 and $14.99 price bracket, we have got people lined up to start paying that in the new year. And finally, a little bit about the team. It's mainly been myself so far. My background's art history and working in both commercial and non-commercial galleries with a bit of marketing as well. I've outsourced the web development. That's not my side of things. My background's the arts. But thankfully, I've got a great team of interns to help me on some of the day-to-day stuff at the moment, thanks to UOB. And I'm also working closely with Asit Deshpande, who's the founder of Shapes. Shapes work with hotels around the world. And through that, we're hoping to give our artists the chance to get bespoke commissions as well. I am currently looking as well for a technical co-founder or a CTO. If anyone has any guidance on this, I'd really welcome a chance to talk to anyone about that. But if anyone has any other questions, please come and meet me in the virtual tables at the end, or add me on LinkedIn. And with Christmas on the horizon, I'll just end by saying, please check out the website and buy art, support artists, but please don't pay commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much for the great pitch. Just a few seconds of that. Perfect. Any questions, guys? Let me check the chat. Questions? John, want to tell us? Here's a question. Okay, so the question is, how did you start your journey?
Well, yeah, I started because I was working in a commercial gallery, like I said, when I was a student one summer. And I noticed a lot of people came in and said they really liked the artwork, but that it was too expensive. And the gallery I worked in had a ridiculous commission of, I think it was 65%. So that was incredibly excessive. But, you know, the norm is about 50%. But it just, that emphasized for me how big of a problem it could be, and I worked with a lot of artists voluntarily as well, so I knew there was a demand out there for something different.
Okay, so can your artist pitch for commissions via website?
In terms of, if the question's meaning if they can pitch for the commercial clients commissions, that's something I'm still figuring out with Asset, how we're going to work with those commercial clients. I think it will be that we'll go with a kind of portfolio to the commercial clients and say, look, these are the artists that we represent and here's how we go. But that's definitely an interesting idea that might be worth exploring as well.
Okay, we have just to clarify, is it both the buyer and the seller who pay the subscribe to the platform, or just the? It's just
the buyer. The sellers, the only payment they make at any point is directly to the buyer, to the artist rather, and the artists pay the subscription just to have access to the artist side of the platform, the back end that allows them to upload their work and manage their customer relations and stuff.
Okay. How to solve the chicken and egg problem of bringing buyers and artists? This is a good question for every platform.
Yeah. It's been a really difficult thing in some ways so far. But I think one thing that and part of the reason for the new packages is that I really want to build that community of artists, because I'm very aware that as a small platform we can't necessarily give them all the customers that they might get off the other platforms. But what we can do, particularly at this stage, is give them that support network and community of artists. And my plan is hopefully that with that, the buzz around that network and the benefit that gives to artists, we'll just get more and more artists involved, bringing more of their clients that already they have, and the word of mouth spreads. And we're already sort of getting featured in various different things, particularly at this time of year, with Christmas guides and all that sort of stuff. So it's just getting the ball rolling and trying to get those people in.
Related to that question, actually, so Dan is asking, it seems like very great opportunity, but you seems focusing on the emerging artist, or is there a scope for scale to more experienced artists?
My immediate desire is to help those emerging artists, because I know that there's a particular need for that, and a lot of the slightly more sort of established artists will have their marketplaces that they'll be sort of using already and that kind of thing. But I think obviously the plan is that I want to take our emerging artists and make them sustainable artists. So I think there is scope in the long run, and that's where the package system is hopefully going to start to bring that. We'll hopefully be able to create a whole journey where we're able to stick with people through the whole process of going from being a young artist just trying to make it through to someone who's exhibiting, in hotels around the world and exhibitions around the world too.
Okay. Two questions somehow related to each other. So could you tell us more about the traction number of users? I think you mentioned that in the presentation. And where do you see it 5 years from now?
So in terms of the users, at the moment, we've currently got around about 300 people signed up as non-artist members, and we have just over 150 artist members signed up, but not all of them have gone on to upload works. That's something that is I think as the website is developed, we'll be able to bring more of those people in, but it shows that there's interest out there as well. And in terms of the next 5 years, I want Easel to be the go-to place for particularly young people to go and buy work from young emerging artists, and I want to be able to take a lot of those artists with us on that journey and make art. My big thing is I want to make art mainstream. I'm always amazed that music is so popular, but art is so sort of seems so difficult and abstract to people, because at the end of the day, it's still a subjective, creative thing. So we need to make art and artists see the same sort of rewards that musicians get, basically. We're
gonna end there with the last question. Davis, I'm gonna leave the skills and qualifications for the CTO. I think we're gonna post that somewhere on social media. So the question now we end with is, what is your target for exit size, and how long do you think take to reach that? Really quick.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I'm really still trying to figure out, and my big, my aim has always. I find the truth is I find the exit thing kind of difficult to grasp grapple with, because as far as I'm concerned, I just want to make the business big, and this is what I'm in. There's no sort of route for exit for me, but I understand the investors are looking for that sort of thing. And the problem is it's difficult to quantify, because in the art market, there's not been a huge amount of mergers and takeovers and that kind of thing. There was a recent thing where Walmart bought art.com, but they were quite a big platform. They've been around since the 90s, and but that was for very undisclosed fees, and it was difficult to see. So that's something I'm still trying to figure out. But ultimately, I think the market is huge. The online art market is worth 40 billion a year around the world, 8 billion in the UK. There's definitely a lot of scope.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you for the great pitch. I know there's a lot of questions. I think, Dan, if you can keep those questions there, maybe later on we can pass them to the founders, and they can reach out and
feel free to find me in the tables afterwards, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Hopefully, we're going to join the table after. Thank you, John. We're going to move on to Brian. So, hi, Brian. Brian Goldsmith is the co-founder of Find Aero. Find Aero is aircraft parts workspace, changing the way where aircraft parts are bought and sold. Go ahead, Brian. Stage is yours.
Yeah, Omran, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I believe my screen is shared properly, and my mic is. But if when I get started anything's wrong, just go ahead and cut me off, and I can start over. So the screen is shared, correct?
Yeah, all good. Go ahead, start.
Okay. 800 commercial aircraft retire each year. That's nearly 3 aircraft per day that are decommissioned and parted out. This is before COVID permanently grounded thousands of additional aircraft. So $100 billion is spent each year on maintenance, repair, and overhaul of commercial aircraft. There comes a time in an aircraft's life when parting out the aircraft is financially more valuable than operating the aged operational aircraft. Now, the parts removed from the aircraft are recertified and sold on the $40 billion aircraft spare parts aftermarket. This right here is where the industry problem of non-existent inventory begins. So as a former aircraft parts broker, I've generated $8 million as a parts broker listing non-existent inventory. I was not alone. Brokers are costing airlines billions, an average of $22,000 per day per airline in inflated cost. Enter FindParts.aero, a managed marketplace where inventory is real and buyers and sellers interact with a clear and measurable mutual value. Buyers access value created on the platform and capture value on competing sites using APIs and affiliate marketing. Sellers can list for free at FindParts.aero or simply have FindParts.aero traffic referred to their existing e-commerce sites. Now, there are competitors, and the legacy marketplaces have membership pricing, which limits buyer-seller participation, which then limits critical mass. And the really poor thing about the legacy marketplaces is they have millions and millions of non-existent part listings, which waste time, waste money, and ruin expectations. While ePlane and SkySelect, the newer marketplaces, raised $19 million this year in Series A funding, we've seen trends that charging a transaction fee is a key failure indicator of the new marketplaces. So our hypothesis for greater critical mass is not threatened by competitors, and here's why. Searches on FindParts.aero include results from outside platforms like eBay, online pilot supply stores, and existing aviation parts e-commerce sites. We undermine existing fragmented marketplaces by actually referring users to e-commerce sites or suppliers with the highest merit for each specific spare part requirement. Our matching module for buyers and sellers is free to list, free to search. Smart contracts eliminate bank fees, eliminate credit card fees, secure transactions, and decentralized ledgers provide irrevocable lifetime traceability rather than a PDF document that is shared from seller to buyer each time an asset changes ownership. Starting at 0, 35,000 users registered their email addresses looking to find parts. 5,000 suppliers have uploaded and are advertising over 40 million spare part listings, and 500 repair stations have uploaded and are advertising 2 million repair services, making our database of spare parts and repair capabilities the 5th or 6th largest in the world. Last year, we raised a $50,000 safe, and 40 users gave us their credit card for premium data feeds. MRO Finder averaged 500 searches per day. That's over $1 million a day in prospective repair orders with our MVP. Now, we provide value at no charge to maximize platform scale and maximize network effects. What we do is we monetize with self-service, micro-targeted ads, and we have demand from suppliers, from large OEMs like Thales to advertise on our platform. Now, we also monetize through engine and heavy MRO reservations, affiliate fees from our meta search engine, and premium data feeds. So to date, over 5,500 vendors have onboarded. Trust creates critical mass. Critical mass will lead to industry adoption. FindParts.Aero is becoming the trusted gateway to spare parts sourcing, referring users to e-commerce sites or suppliers to complete transactions off the FindParts.Aero platform. Our platform scale approach monetizes excess value, dips into the pockets of suppliers that need to spend more targeted marketing dollars to sell more parts, further fueling FindParts.Aero's commercial success. Biometric identity verifications, watch list checks, inventory APIs, and DLT records ensure FindParts.Aero protects the integrity and protects the traceability of the spare parts aftermarket, saving time, saving money, and saving lives. Thanks for the warm welcome into your startup community, into the BEC community. We've continuing to help us grow our UK aerospace footprint, and I'd like to open it up for questions.
Thank you so much, Brian. We have a question already. So the traction that you mentioned, over what time period did you achieve this? And how do you determine the merit of the parts, especially when they are from different sites?
Okay, 2 questions. Thank you for asking about the merits. Definitely, we have a lot of literature, a lot of research, and we can dive into whether that inventory has been synced in real time, whether the certifications are on a blockchain, and we use several very creative variables to track that. Regarding the period of time, the first MVP launched in 2013, and the second MVP launched in 2015.
Okay, thank you. And how do you think impact of How do you think impact of COVID will affect your business model?
So in 2001 and 2008, we saw the airline industry take drastic hits and take 12 to 14 months to recover in 2001 and 12 to 14 months to recover in 2008. We believe COVID will be slightly longer, but we believe there's huge opportunity. Unfortunately, lots of people are losing their jobs in this industry, but we see huge opportunity, and the airline industry is, the air travel industry in general, beyond commercial aviation, is just going to be phenomenal as we move forward.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit more about your team?
Sure. So we have 3 advisors. We have a blockchain advisor, we have a machine learning advisor, we have a logistics advisor, and we have me.
Okay. What is your plans in for the UK and the wider European region?
The UK market is the 2nd largest aerospace market. There's roughly 1,700 vendors and MROs in the UK market. And now that we have several friends and networks, and we would have been in Birmingham for the last 6 months. We're going to come to London for another program, and we are, we're not sure of the specific plan, but we have roots now in the UK, and we can grow our UK user base better with our UK roots.
Nice. I'm not sure what this question is. So could you explain how, as a parts brokers, scam airlines a bit more?
Yeah, I could. So basically, parts brokers list non-existent inventory. They claim they have parts that they don't have. There's companies that do this full time for a living that don't have parts, and if you call them to ask for the parts, they'll say, "Oh, okay, let me check the storeroom and I'll get back to you with a quote." And then they don't have a storeroom. They make several calls to suppliers, and it just becomes a broker train of people that don't have stock marking parts up.
Okay. Okay. I think, is there any more questions? We answered this one about the plans of expanding the UK. Any more questions, guys? I've noticed there was a couple of questions in the chat for Hazel. If you guys send them into the question bit, it's going to be easier to answer. Any plan for the emerging markets?
Yes, actually, from the start, our focus has always been on the emerging markets, and just like John is focused on the emerging artists, actually, we're not here to service the top 20 airlines in the world. We're here to service the 6,800 other aircraft operators that don't get the attention of the leading aircraft operators.
Nice. And the last question, how do you validate the parts and the sellers are legit?
Another great question about it ties into the same question with how we rank merits per parts. We have experience in the industry. It's a small industry. Vendors know vendors, and we also use lots of data fields that we can draw, and lots of and we also kind of use our secret sauce, which is knowing people and references and understanding the existing players in the market and having relationships.
Thank you. There's a couple more questions. Dan's going to pass them through to you later on. And guys, again, and after this, we're going to be joining. Each startup is going to have a table, and you can sit with them and ask all the questions. Just being aware of time so we can get to listen to everyone. Thank you so much, Brian. Great presentation as usual. Now we're going to move to Dom. Dom is the founder of Evolve Snacks. Evolve wants to inspire people to eat more fruits, and that's through their range of NASA-inspired freeze-dried snacks. I can witness they are really nice. I tried them myself. Go ahead, Dom.
Hi, everyone. Just sharing my screen here. Cool.
Yep, all good.
All up and running?
Yep.
Perfect. So, hi, everyone. It's great to be here. My name's Dom. I'm the founder and chief forager here at Evolved. In short, we're here to change the way we snack on fruit in the 21st century. It's widely known that fruit and veg is the most important food group for living a healthy life. And yet, in the UK, only 18% of kids and 28% of adults meet their recommended 5 a day. This is contributing to the soaring rates of obesity, diabetes, and other dietary-related diseases that we're currently experiencing. As you can tell, I'm originally from a nutrition background. I studied nutritional science at university, where it became my mission to create a brand and a product that would help people to fall back in love with snacking on fruit. A quick overview of the space we operate in. The fruit snacking industry is currently riding the wave of convenience, on-the-go, and health trends. According to the grocer, 64% of regular snackers would ideally choose fruit as their go-to snack, whereas 62% choose crisps and only 37% choose sweets. However, despite this demand, the dried fruit snacking industry is seeing some major challenges at the moment. So we asked customers what their biggest barriers were to buying dried fruit snacks on the regular. These 3 pain points actually came up top. Negative perceptions surrounding taste, lack of visual excitement, and of course, the most recent sugar scare were some of the main issues. My job in this presentation is to show you guys a fruit snack range that combats each of these pain points and offers a new generation of exciting, innovative, sugar-friendly fruit snacks. Among an abundance of heat and air-dried fruit snacks, Evolved offers a completely new and fresh angle to fruit snacking. Inspired by how NASA preserves food for space voyages, We carefully dice real fruit into little pieces, flash freeze them to lock in the nutrients and flavor, and then remove 98% of the moisture in a low pressure vacuum chamber. By freeze drying our fruit, we lock in the natural taste, texture, color, and nutrients without adding anything to them. This gives the fruit a similar texture to popcorn with the taste of candy, but all while delivering the goodness of real fruit. Our range is naturally low in calories, high in fiber, and 185 a day, while being vegan friendly and free from. However, I haven't yet mentioned our biggest nutritional USP. The media has recently slammed the fruit snacking industry for its universally high sugar content, as top brands can contain over 20 grams of sugar per serving. That's comparable to sweets such as Haribo. With 39% of today's shoppers seeking low sugar snacks, this presents a major problem in the fruit snacking industry. And when there's a problem, there's an opportunity. With this in mind, Evolved are positioned as the first and only fruit snack to be SugarWise certified, containing under 5 grams of sugar per packet without compromising taste and flavor. That's under a quarter of the average sugar content compared to top brands. So we achieve this through the innovation of freeze drying mixed with calculated portion control and with a transparent mission-focused supply chain. We currently offer 3 exciting varieties which presents undiscovered taste credentials in the healthy snacking aisle to break down those plain, boring, negative perceptions that are currently surrounding the fruit snack industry. A little bit about our customers. Fruit snacks are versatile and do naturally have a wide appeal, with the majority of our customers being health-conscious, convenience-focused foodies, but also sugar-conscious parents and office workers. Since launching at the beginning of the year, we've proven the demand for our products, being chosen to supply the likes of Google offices, airlines, national railways, vending machines, and independent grocery stores, selling over 110,000 packets in the last 6 months. With the industry-wide issues that we've discussed today, Evolved is here to lead the next generation of fruit snack brands and to champion the category with fun, new, innovative offerings that break down the barriers between indulgence, impulsivity, and healthy, purposeful snacking. With conversations already taking place, we aim to establish our first national supermarket listing in 2021, while continuing to grow our presence in food service, vending machines, online, through schools, and exports. I'm pitching to you all today to expand the Evolved network and to meet collaborative partners that could help me to drive the business forward. So if you have any questions, or if you'd like to reach out, I'd love to hear from you afterwards. And I'd like to thank you all very much for listening.
Thank you, Dom. Thank you very much. When I get some questions, sorry guys, we might ask, like we are asking less questions just because it's we don't want to run over like massively with time. But again, anytime you can reach out to us or the startup. So the question is your manufacturing process outsourced? And if so, how do you control your IPR differentiation?
Yeah, so our manufacturing is outsourced. As to freeze dry our fruit, it does require these humongous chambers that we would take a lot of funding to create, and we don't really have that in the UK. So yes, it is outsourced. The protection that we have in place is actually more time and energy. It's a very new and emerging concept, freeze drying. And there's another huge amount of manufacturers that have a lot of experience in handling and co-packing it. So we've had 3 years of developing the product, and within those 3 years, there's been over 10 manufacturers that we couldn't work with as they didn't have the experience, and if around 50 manufacturing trials that would help us to develop this system, essentially, which act as our protection.
Nice. And which are potential markets with a greater adoption globally?
So the healthy snacking market is a very lucrative market. It's growing at a rapid rate as health consciousness is becoming a global trend. So our ambitions at the moment are to conquer the UK and one other European country. We've had interest from various countries such as Germany and France and the Netherlands. And we're just kind of working out at the moment which is the right country for us. There's also various other categories that we'd love to consider in the future, all very much in that health and well-being space. But for now, we're looking to expand the healthy snacks freeze-dried fruit range and yeah, make a go of that space.
Nice. What is your traction currently? Over what period of time did you achieve this?
Sure. So we launched at the beginning of this year, and around the beginning of the year. Obviously, we'll have a year to launch in for one. We launched on Amazon around the same day that we went into lockdown, and Amazon Prime became an initial revenue source for us. It was around that time that we then received a contract through an airline catering company, which has become quite a big part of the business. We're just about to launch with Great Western Railway service through Railway. We've launched with our first vending machine company, and they are national. We've also got 10 different subscription boxes that order on a regular, and there's various other channels, but schools is going to be a big one for next year. As I mentioned, supermarkets, we're already starting those conversations. So I mentioned in the previous slide that we've sold 110,000 packets in the last 6 months, and that was through those different channels.
I'm getting a lot of questions. How are you defensible against the big incumbents pivoting into this space?
So every food brand really suffers from this same issue, which is it's impossible to really come up with anything completely brand new. Freeze drying has been around for actually thousands of years. We haven't really known about it. So freeze drying isn't patentable as such. However, there has been times in the past where supermarkets have attempted to launch a freeze-dried fruit brand, and after quite quickly realizing the manufacturing issues that come with it and the expense that you can go into in setting up this, things that I wasn't aware of at the time. Otherwise, perhaps at the time I might have entered a different space, who knows? But yeah, it's very much a very challenging product to work on, and it can be very costly for some of these brands.
Nice. The last question, and then the rest, guys, you can reach out to Dom or to us. We are happy to get you those. So what is your biggest challenge at the minute? Is it the funding? Is it accessible, etc.?
In recent months, the biggest issue was inventory management. We had to scale up our inventory very quickly, which presents challenges, especially for a small startup. So it was very much a combination of lack of manpower, lack of initial funding that could scale up the inventory very quickly, kind of a combination of things. So it was very much learning on the job and working out how to proceed over those few months. So that's where we are at the moment.
Nice. Thank you so much, Dom. Great pitch. Great.
Thanks, everyone.
As well, the audience was great. Now we're going to move to Alejandro. So Alejandro, founder of SIBO, innovative biomaterials for food and packaging production, creating thoughtful and innovation process to lead the food industry towards a sustainable future. Alejandro, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Amran. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So this is the current picture of the food industry. There are 4 main problems: food waste, plastic waste, climate change, and food scarcity and malnutrition. These 4 issues in the picture, what it's telling us is that what we are eating is killing us, and it is killing the planet. So at SIBO, we aim to create a new food industry, a food industry for a sustainable future, and we do it by changing the basis of production. So basically, we create innovative biomaterials. The how we do it is the interesting part. We use insects and food upcycle to create these solutions. SIBO is actually the name of the main Costa Rican god, and me and my co-founder as Costa Ricans, we know what it means to actually care about the environment and think that the solutions have always been here. So we created 3 main operational divisions. The first one, which is the basis of everything that we do, is farming insects, but with the help of families in rural areas of Costa Rica. The second part is using those insects and making ingredients, food ingredients, and innovative materials. And this, we commercialize it to companies like Nestle or other food manufacturers. And finally, with the byproducts of this previous area, we are able to develop a series of biomaterials and extracts that we can use for different solutions, for example, the packaging industry. So to be more explicit about it, the things that we do are, or our developments include a food line, which is already launched to market this year here in the UK. It includes food ingredients and tasty formulations high in protein and in fiber and low in sugar. For example, Dawn could be one of our clients for these products. The second one is a protein extract. And this product solves the current limitations of the insect-based protein available on the market, and it provides a solution for both usability and safety. But the key product and the key development that we're doing is the insect biopolymer. It's an entoplastic, as we call it. It's a key innovation for the market to reduce food waste, increase food security, and replace plastic. It is made with the byproducts from the protein extract, as we mentioned. This is at a 25% development, and we're hoping to launch it to market in 2022. This is the market size and the market opportunity that we have. It includes a series of divisions for the next 5 years. But the thing is that we have proven the market already. And we provide value to our main competitors like Proteus, Entomofarms. But we also provide value to companies like Unilever or Nestle that we are already working with them. We have access to the Unilever pilot plan, which was the main milestone that we achieved over this last period. We have access to, well, we got accepted for the startup visa in the UK and in the Netherlands. We have been able to develop a series of formulations and launch the first insect farming program on a national level. And now we are starting exports from Costa Rica. We're setting operations in the UK, launching the food line into market, and developing a series of co-developments with big food players like Unilever. Like Nestle. Hopefully with Unilever very soon, which is part of the second stage. Now we are at this point where we are very clear that we are going to be able to be profitable by next year and continue growing with a 50% margin starting at that point. This is all possible thanks to this amazing team. Together, the 9 people that we have on a daily basis on the team, with the chairman, which is an ex-Unilever, and the secretary of the board, which is actually a Google director right now, we are able to aim the company towards what we want. And together with this amazing network, we have been able to achieve, well, out of the $500,000 that we're raising, 300 are committed. We are leading the food industry to a sustainable future, and we are not waiting for the consumer behavior to change. And with this investment, and thanks to the help that you're going to be providing us, we're going to be able to launch the biopolymer to market and actually be able to change the world and create a more sustainable future. We are Siegel, and we create thoughtful innovations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just on time. Perfect. Thank you so much, Alejandro. Jump to questions. Okay. What insects do you farm?
Well, right now, we got started with crickets, and usually the why we use crickets is because they are accepted by the European regulation, and they're really common for this type of consumption and trade. But we are starting to use other 3 and 4 kinds of insects because we focused, something that we did was creating like a periodic table of insect components, so we would know which insects to farm, which insects to use, and which insects would be better for protein, which insects would be better for biopolymers. So that's something that we did as well.
Nice. And by the way, again, I've tried some of the products out of the insects. They are tasty, to be honest. So how will you overcome consumer squeamishness regarding eating the insects, because they're going to be insects?
Well, I do have a marketing major, and my background is all in marketing. And my usual answer to that question is, well, the food industry is not showing you the cow when you're eating it. And we are not going to show you the insect either. We are about the materials, about the food ingredients, and a lot of the problems that we have is that people don't understand food ingredients. If you understood everything that is behind food, probably people would not consume things like McDonald's or other of the food chains. And what we're doing is providing a solution to these companies to use more sustainable materials with even better taste and a high and easy usability for them as well.
Okay.
So that's how we overcome.
Question, you mentioned Nestle. Just to clarify, do you have a partnership with them confirmed, or are you talking with them?
We are starting a development with Nestle, Nestle Portugal. They were really interested about doing this. We still don't have the letter of intent signed because they are connecting us to the main headquarters, just because in Portugal, the regulation doesn't allow the insect yet. So in Switzerland, it does. So that's how we're playing right now.
Okay. How niche is the market for insect protein, and how do you see mass adoption scaling? It's related to the previous question somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, we're not thinking about the insect protein. We're thinking about protein. If we think about the insect protein, the market is very small. But if we think about the protein market, which is actually changing the tendency, is growing more vegan sources, and the meat consumption is stopped growing just because of the current needs and the legal blocks that they have. But we know that the insect protein has better qualifications, better nutrition. It includes the same components and amino acids as meat without having the harm into the environment as well.
Okay. And have last question. Who has committed the 300K that you mentioned have received so far?
We have investors from the US. We have investors that are related to the insect industry. And we have investors interested in the Netherlands mainly. Which is where we were kind of at the beginning planning to have the headquarters. Now we have the possibility here in the UK. So we are looking for other investors to commit the additional 200K. If there is anybody interested, please contact me. But we are open to do investment in different parts of the world. And we do want a smart money. So we want people with connections to the food industry to keep the developments and to also develop ourselves, give us advice, which is the most important part that we need right
now. Okay. Thank you so much, Alejandro. Great presentation and great innovation. Now we're going to move to Davis Como. Yeah. So Davis is the founder of Masina, which is an agile logistic company which power up the e-scooters in a sustainable and green way. As we all know, there is like a spike in the use of the e-scooters now. Go ahead.
Yeah, just can you confirm you can see the screen?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah,
probably all slides. Yeah. Good evening, investors, fellow entrepreneurs. I'm Das Kuma, and we power up e-scooters. What do I mean? E-scooters this year in June, mid of June, became legal in UK, and all of them were asking to the councils to get the licenses to start the operations there. And when they got the licenses to put down their scooters, they had to quickly set up the operations. And for them, that's a huge risk, as next year maybe another scooter operator comes into the place, and then they lose all the setups. They have to move it, and it's not practical for them. We, Masina, provide collection, recharging, deployment, and as well sanitization, because scooters does provide the isolation, the individual transportation, and social distancing from each other. And with sanitization, we can as well provide safe travel journeys from point A to B. Our goal, by providing logistics transportations for the e-scooter companies, we believe we can achieve 1 billion people life improvements by the rides with the green transport. The market size has grown drastically. Since July, 40 city councils across UK have allowed the e-scooter trials within the UK, and those can grow within the next year drastically. We have competition, Chargery, TGC, and PedalMe. However, we have advantage. We are locally based in UK. We have the IoT expertise, as the e-scooters by themselves are IoT devices, and which allows to communicate and understand the client needs. And as well, we hire local van drivers, and our transport is only green. Currently, we work with two biggest companies in the world, Lime and Bird. They were the originators of e-scooter rentals back at San Francisco 3 years ago. As well, we do communicate with other companies, and we are looking forward to make other deals with them. The team, myself, Danny, and Richard, each of us brings the core to set up the operations fast and quick, safe, and ensure that the e-scooters are on the streets and ready for the riders. Financially, personally, I put in money to start this company, and as well, we already are receiving revenue from Lime and Bird, which is now supporting us quite well. And the current contract value is £120,000, and we think quite soon it's going to happen that we're going to get the contract for London in a value of £350,000 with a profit margin of 28%. We look for investment of 30,000 with 5% equity return, and we believe investor with logistics, insurance, or public relationship background can complement our company to accelerate even faster and take us into a new scale. We provide exit within 3 to 5 years with 400% return on investment. We are Messina Ltd, and we power up e-scooters, and you can reach us out by phone, email, as well. We'll be at the table answering your questions. So yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. Omran?
Thank you, Devin. Thank you so much. Great presentations. Waiting for the questions to come in.
Sure.
Any questions, guys? If you would like to tell us about your journey with Forward, Davis, while we get some questions.
Yeah, it's been
we got one. They stopped.
okay. It's been an amazing journey with you guys. Learned so much and has taken us so very much forward towards our goal of 1 billion rides. So it's
okay, so the questions, do you have any plans to expand into the e-mobility sector, such as e-bikes, e-cargo bikes, and managing shared EV fleets?
Yes, short answer, yes, and we are in conversations to do that.
Okay, what is the average lifespan of an e-scooter?
That's more or less for e-scooter vendor questions. So we provide logistics, but yeah, what we know, I think it's between 1.5 years to 2 years. That would be that, but that's more from e-scooter company provider.
Why do Lime and Bird not keep these services in-house? What does say they want in the future? So yeah.
So the main reason is that when they apply for licenses, there's the risk if they will be able to get the license for the next year, as there are multiple, at least 30 e-scooter companies for each city applying. But they usually they go for the companies to do the on the ground operations with operators such as Messina Ltd.
Okay. So where do your future contracts come from?
That's a bit confidential, but happy to discuss that with NDA signed.
Well, that was a question coming from Bart, so you can tell him later on. Check the chat. Any more questions? Okay, the last one. For the market beyond the main operators. for contracts?
Could that be clarified a bit, please? Could you elaborate on that? But the market.
Okay, so where do you get like contracts beyond Lime and Bird?
So we reach out to the right people and make those contracts connections and
Okay.
like
What do you need the 30K for?
30K is needed for electric vehicle fleet investments, which we plan to expand to be ready for the London launch.
Okay. Thank you so much, Davis. And guys, again, later on we're gonna be on the tables, so you can ask your questions. Now we were supposed to have Joe Ward from Smallspark. Smallspark is a UK-based aerospace and artificial intelligence research firm working in push boundaries for low-cost rocket propulsion systems and artificial intelligence in designing and improving the capabilities of engineering design process. But the guys, couldn't make it today, and working on rockets, not easy. But we have a high-tech startup as well now with David. So LT Energy, David is the founder of LT Energy, high-tech startup, develops sensor-based and cloud-supported technology solutions for outdoor applications. David, the stage is yours.
Can you see the full screen mode? Can you confirm that?
Yep, all good.
Perfect. Great. Well, then, good evening, everybody. Davide Tuzzi, CEO and co-founder of LT Energy Group. It's a high-tech startup company based in Italy. And I'm really pleased today to introduce you our project, Energy Light, which is an innovative technology solutions for energy efficiency of outdoor street lights, specifically designed for the private market. Well, if on one hand, we see that the public and efficient smart lighting solutions are booming, on the other hand, no solutions have been recorded for the private market, or at least no effective solutions have been recorded. And if we think that we could use public market available lighting solutions for the private market, we would be very wrong for a certain number of reasons. First of all, because these solutions would require an extended learning time for its usage. Those are complex and oversized. There is a need of technical skills or a facility manager constantly behind it. Those are not affordable for this private market in terms of price, and this is mainly driven by the fact that there is a crazy high yearly software subscription cost, which then, of course, leads to a long payback period. Here, the solutions for this niche market is Energy Light, is an IoT system, combination of hardware and software, which allows energy saving at an affordable adoption price. It is retrofit compatible with existing streetlights, and it comes with two packages. Business, for company holding one asset in terms of streetlights, of course, and Beehive, for companies with more assets in different locations. And we have no need of learning any software. It is an autonomous solutions. Customers just need to read easy to read energy consumption reports, and it is affordable in price. But how it works? So we have motion sensors, which are deployed in strategic locations, which detects presence, cars or pedestrians. This communicates to the controllers the presence, and we have a number of controllers equal to the number of the street lights which we want to save energy upon. The controllers then allow 100% of light intensity when presence is detected, and transfer all the data about energy consumptions onto a cloud space, where also the software is located. And then the company, LT Energy Group, translates these in periodical energy consumption reports for the customers. And this is already a main difference with public market available solutions, where the software lays in customers' hands. Well, the revenue streams, at least for this initial phase, counts of two lines. We have hardware cost plus installations and design, and then we have a yearly subscription fee for the energy consumption reports and the data hosting. Finally, we'd like to run these services around Energy Light: sell, monitor, maintain, and upgrade. If, for example, just as an example, we take the local Italian market, and if we only aim at 10% of the potential market size that we have recorded, this is the number we could make in terms of net profit. But how are we making it to get there? So far, we have interviewed many facility and real estate managers. We have 96+% of positive feeling about Energy Light, and 60% approximately of them would like to stay tuned with our projects and candidated themselves for being early adopters. And we have also collected 15 letters of intent. Those are some of the companies for which we have interviewed facility managers. This is the team. It's made out of well-blended competencies, high energetic and passionate techie people. We have decided also to enrich our structure with a senior experienced person as a technical advisory board. How far are we? As of today, we have refined our business plan. We have built know-how. We have developed a go-to-market strategy, and we have very recently received our 50K seed investment. And all of these thanks also to excellence programs which we have been selected for. And we started a few days ago our real scale pilot to get an MVP ready for March 2021. About the case study, here we have it. So 20 streetlights in a park of a municipality, and we have two main goals: bring out our MVP and then demonstrate saving to the municipality, which show an interest towards our technology, even though this is addressed to the private market. Here are some figures. On the basis of interviews, surveys, and sales forecast, we came out with these numbers. Year 1 and 2, familiarization with the market. Year 3, more vertical growth, and 4 and 5, market consolidation. The highest costs of our structure are given by the HR, and a new capital injection is foreseen as needed in the coming months, round A of 400K. And we'll be using this money for team implementation, improving our sales cycle, go-to-market strategy, get our own space, and develop after-sales services. Thanks for your attention, and I'm at your disposal for potential questions.
Thank you so much, David, for your presentation. Away the questions. Any questions, guys? Things in Italy, good?
Yeah, we're good. Meanwhile, I'll take advantage to join all the others in congratulating me with you guys for the great work and support that you've given us along the way. So
you've been doing great work, all of you guys. What feedback do you commonly get from corporates you work with?
Work with, you mean I relates with, probably. Well, that's interesting, because what they want, what they're asking, it's not a complex platform or applications that they can look at, real-time energy consumptions data. What they ask for is just to save money. And this is the reason why we have decided to put effort on a simplification process, if we want. So we took current offer, and we are trying to take out a simplified platform which really needs the basic in order for the facility manager or a corporate to understand that they are saving money. Current platform are tailor-made for the public market mainly, so it's for larger and wider streetlights network. So they have different needs, and yeah, we recorded these needs from the corporates and the private market, and we want to address it.
Okay. What was the cost saving that of the test you said you did?
So the test started, the real scale test started a few days ago. So we have installed a meter in order to measure pre-installation and post-installation and make a comparison. So at the moment we cannot share exact data, but in principle what we are expecting, this I can say, an average saving of at least something between 60 and 70% compared to conventional case. Okay. What stage are you at with your IP? This is a tough topic. So the innovation part comes on the software part. So for software, we cannot apply any intellectual property or patent. So we are now working around it with some copyrights, because it's about coding. It's about coding. So this is what we're doing.
Okay. I think these are the questions. You can check the chat. How long will it take to recoup the investment in your estimate?
At the third year, with the return of 7% for the investors, if this was the questions.
Okay. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much, David. Great presentation. Great questions as well, guys. Now we're gonna move to our final pitch with Javier. So Javier is the founder of Agrocognitive. Agrocognitive is an affordable precision agricultural platform that helps the farmers by giving them insights so they can automate their farming processes and take care of their crops. The stage is yours, Javier.
So can you see my screen right now?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Javier Soto, and we are Agrocognitive. Today, I want to tell you a friend's story. She is Martha, a family farmer who grows rice in a medium-sized farm. She managed her farm fairly well, keeping record of activities and crop yields. However, every season, her expenses in chemical increase, not yielding better results nor mitigating any crop affectation, and sadly is impacting the soil and the environment surrounding. Being worried about this result, she attended to a farmers' cooperative meeting and discovered some colleagues were trying a platform called Agrocognitive. So she decided to open an account and try. To start using Agrocognitive, she uploads some data, and we got orders from satellite and weather services. Then we get her diagnosis and analytics about what is happening in her crops, what is the next best action, and prediction about harvest. We also will offer her soil analytics and crop protection services in near future, all of them meaning less chemical, better harvest. For Martha, using Agrocognitive is affordable. It doesn't need any capital investment to onboard. It's not dependent of any manufacturer or hardware dealer. And the best, it evolves thanks to its AI engine, who learns with every use. Now she comes with a complete platform to monitor her crops and remotely manage them. Agrocognitive enables a new fruit production model that the world needs. At the end of the season, she saved in agro inputs, reduced environmental impacts, increased crop yields, and her family revenues. We are certified as an impact enabler for sustainable development goals. Agrocognitive is the best choice for small farmers, but also for cooperative and the food industry. Just in Latin America, this market is huge. There are more than 55 million small farmers, a million of cultivated hectares. In this sample, you can see our target for sugarcane crops, just one crop. Martha is happy and confident with a company that is awarded, who have alliance with big technology vendors and partnership with important institutions. We are helping many farmers like her and scaling up to reach more places. Our business model is really simple, just a subscription. We offer a plan for every farmer side, including a freemium plan. Martha is subscribed to Carol plan, and she pays just point. We need 150 paying customers and monitor at least 10,000 of hectares. The co-founders behind Agrocognitive have been working together for 5 years and have built a strong and an award team to reach this current stage?
We lost the slides.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah. Sorry for that.
can you see it right now?
No.
No. Oh my God.
If you want, keep going. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, to scale up, AgroCommunity is looking for allies in agribusinesses, research collaborators, and commercial partners. We also are raising capital to reach a next level and impact more family farmers like Martha. We will use the capital to, 1, develop next stage features, including integration with advanced satellite services, execute a marketing plan, scale up our sales and pre-sales team, execute a farming pilot in UK to train AgroCognitive with potato. It will be the first crop to land in those markets. Martha is grateful for receiving this help and that has allowed her to produce more rice, improve her well-being, and take care of the environment. Would you like to join us? Thank you for listening, and now I open up to answer any questions. Sorry for all the issues.
Perfect. No. Even without the slides, you've nailed it. Well done, Pierre. Well done. Great presentation. I'm going to jump to questions. I would expect a lot of questions now. Let's see. So, how many small farmer subscribers do you have so far?
Right now, we have 45 family farmers on board and one farmer cooperative that counts more than 300 farmers included.
Okay, nice. We check the chat as well. I think this was, have you pitched to any government agriculture departments?
Well, this is a tricky question because, as maybe you know, we are here in Venezuela. AgroCommunity is a private initiative, it's a private venture. We have been co-working with institutions, for example, universities or an hemispheric institution that called Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture. We are right now partnering with Nestlé Venezuela, and we have commercial agreement with partners in Paraguay, Uruguay, etc. But particularly in the case is in Venezuela, the government has their own agenda in that space.
Okay. What is your next crop focus? So you mentioned potatoes in the UK. Is there any?
Yes, but potato is our landing crop to UK and Europe. Here in Latin America, we are working with sugarcane, rice, corn, and we are planning to train with fruits, papaya, banana, etc.
Nice. And it's because I think size, numbers, how big is your team?
Well, it's pretty small. We are 3 co-founders, 1 consultant, 4 technicals, 1 machine learning special, 1 mathematician, 2 developers, and 1 marketing guy.
How do you plan to reach large numbers of small farmers who are not necessarily online?
Yes, it's a good question because when we start to designing this tool, we ask the same question: how to include that family farmer? But actually, everyone has at least a smartphone. We already deliver or deploy an app for mobile devices that can work offline the farmer can work and register all the activities they do in the field, and when they reach or enter in coverage, Wi-Fi, mobile data, the agrocognitive app synchronize data, so all the data can arrive to server and process. So we have to work with an offline, online steps.
Okay. Nice. And I think it's similar to the research companies where like they deploy their online tools to collect data, and then when they are home, it's synchronized, or then later on. Yeah. Thank you so much, Javier, for the great presentation, and well done how you handled it without the slides as well. Thank you so much, guys, for everyone who joined us. We are delighted by your comments, your questions. We would love to hear more from you. What do you think about the event, the startups? If there's anything we can as well help with, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Please don't, if you'd like to network with the startups, the founders, talk to them or with each other. We're going to move from this to the tables. Each table is for a startup. They're going to be, the founder is going to be sitting there. And don't forget that now the applications are open for Forward F3. That's going to start in 2021. So it's the next cohort of the guys here. If you would like to apply, if you know someone who would benefit from this opportunity, do not hesitate to let them know about it, or let them get in touch with us. Thank you for those who stayed all the way. Really enjoyed the event, and yeah, have a nice evening and speak to you soon all. Thank you so much.